Hey guys, it's Agent Softer here for the fourth video, or part 4 of my M4 gas blowback type made by WeTech. I decided to do a cleaning video today, just for the sake of viewers being able to clean their guns. So, I already disassembled the gun here for you into the 4 main parts, which is the low receiver, the bolt carrier in the bolt section, charging handle, and the upper receiver. So what you're going to start with is the low receiver, the first part. Also, the materials that you're going to be needing is some disposable paper towels, like Bounty or something, and either silicone oil or silicone spray. I preferably use silicone spray, because I find that silicone oil can attract dust and dirt more easily than silicone spray. I'm not sure why. It might be a little more dense, but that's just the reason why. So we're going to move to the low receiver. I'm not going to take the trigger grouping out just for the sake of it being too hard to put back together. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a little bit of paper towel, and you're just going to try to clean most of where you can by just sticking in the mag well, like that. Try to get the buffer a little bit, and most of the trigger grouping, like that. And honestly, just try to get most of the silicone, or what was part of it before, out, so you can put a new coat or layer of silicone. Because if you mix the silicone without wiping it down, most people don't realize that you're just adding to the problem. So once this is done, you can move on to the charging handle. Oh, and by the way, some people like to take the buffer spring and buffer tube out to clean that, but I find that it functions better if you don't clean it, for a more realistic and a hardy feel. And that's about the only part of the gun that you can keep dirty, I think. So I'm just going to wipe down the entire charging handle. And I think the charging handle is the part that accumulates the most oil for some reason. If you see, most of it's coming off from the charging handle. So once that's done. Oh, also for the charging handle, which I forgot to mention my first video of my WeTech M4, is that the stock charging handle is fake metal. So you see it's starting to scratch there, and it'll eventually crack off. So I suggest buying a full metal replacement one if you can find it. I think Evike sells it for $15, and a couple other websites. RA Tech, I love their stuff. You know, they have a lot of good stuff and upgradable parts if you're really serious about your gun. So I recommend checking out their website and all their products. So moving on to the bolt. You're just going to want to do the same thing that you've been doing, just sort of wipe it down. Mostly that part, the little bronze part right here. That's probably the most important thing to lubricate and clean, because if that fails to, if that gets stuck or malfunctions, then the gun won't function properly, totally. So that one little part is very crucial in the gun's momentum and usage. And once you have that down, you can try to get some of the silicone out of the upper receiver. I don't have a cleaning rod with me today, or an unjamming rod, so I'm not going to clean the barrel, but I do highly suggest you just putting some of that paper towel down the barrel with a cleaning rod or an unjamming rod, because it affects the... I think it affects the velocity a little bit, and it affects the accuracy a whole lot. That's something you should always do with gas blowbacks. And it's also good to put a little silicone and then clean it out with a dry paper towel, so the barrel is lubricated only slightly. After we have all the things wiped down, we're going to go back to the low receiver and start the spray. So usually it comes a little straw for more precise lubrication, but I just find it easier to just sort of spray it on. So the parts that we will be spraying today is the ball bearing, which is on the trigger right there, and the firing pin, which is by the mag catch right there. So when you pull the trigger, it'll pop out, that little part right there. I find that's very important to lubricate. So what we're going to start with is the trigger. So right there, just 2 little squirts, or 3. And then in the magwell right there for the firing pin, I call it. And that's just about it. So I mean, you shouldn't over lubricate it, then you're gonna end up with a lot of more dirt and grime next time you clean it on the paper towel. So the less dirt and grime there is, easier it is to clean. So I think that's it for the low receiver. If you want to spray a little silicone on the buffer and buffer spring, I mean, you could, but I like to keep it, just the way it is, so it maximizes performance. Now we're going to move on to the charging handle. The charging handle, I like to just spray very minimally, so it won't accumulate too much, but it always tends to accumulate a lot. So just 2 sprays on the top, and 1 long spray on the bottom. But try to minimize how much you put on. Second to last, you have the bolt. What you're going to want to do... also, if you're wondering why I have this bronze nozzle instead of... this silver nozzle instead of the standard bronze nozzle, it's because I bought the Rawtec NPAS, the negative pressure air system nozzle, which allows me to increase or reduce the velocity. So this is extremely durable. Just give 1 spray right along there, so it's easily maneuverable up and down, so there's no sticking when you're cycling the gun. Also, right there, that little bronze part, as I said before, is extremely crucial. That's just about it. And the way to test if you're well lubricated is if this part can slide in and out very easily. So that's good. And really, with the upper receiver, which is the last part, you just want to spray in that part right there where the BBs would go, just like that. So the BBs will have no problem getting stuck or anything like that. That's just about it. So I'm going to put the gun back together, and as one last thing, I want to show you how to lubricate the magazine, because I have a total of 14 magazines, and half of those are in repair right now because they're leaking. So they're extremely important to lubricate and keep maintained, because they're not cheap, and having gas blowback magazines makes it even harder because they're only 30 rounds a mag. So 2, 4, 6. I have 7 magazines here with me today. And I'm just going to show you how to lubricate them. So I guess I'll do this one. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 parts on the magazine that require lubrication. There's one right there, here, and on the bottom. So the one that you should probably start with is the one on the back, just because it's easier to start with. So just 1 small spray there, 1 small spray there, 1 small spray there, and an even smaller spray on the bottom. You're going to want to do this every time you go on a field, or almost every time you use it, I guess, because it's really important that you keep it lubricated and well maintained. Otherwise, it will break. Try not to go full auto on it, because the laws of physics state that when the gas is released, that the air expands and the O-rings contract. So that causes it to leak, and the silicone oil helps the O-rings expand, and prevents the leaking. So it's cheaper to silicone it and lubricate it as much as you can rather than having to replace them. Because $40 a pop, accumulates. So that's just about it for the video. Thanks. If you have any complaints, comments, please write them down below so you can tell me how to improve my videos, or if you want to just give me feedback. So, alright, cool. Peace.